What is up, YouTube fam? Robbie C here, and we are back with the second part of the series, which is all about bringing our success from practice rounds to tournaments. This week, we're going to talk about how other people can help you take that next step in your game as well. When I look back at the introduction to this video, it highlights what I believe is a critical part of disc golf, and that is playing in front of others. When it comes to rounds that matter, speaking about tournaments or league rounds, or maybe for some of you, rounds that matter are just rounds with friends. You may be the worst player in your friend group, and you want to figure out how you can start lighting it up like you do in your solo rounds to the rounds you're crushing with your friends. Like any good Baptist preacher, I've got 3 points for this video. But before we dive in, if you're not already, please feel free to hit that subscribe button if you like what we're doing on this channel. And if you're really enjoying it, hit that like button and hit that bell for notifications. One of the first areas I believe other people can help you start finding success in your game is in playing games together. I recently got to go away with some friends to a tournament, and we all stayed at the same Airbnb. We put baskets in the backyard, and after our first day of putting, a couple of us felt a little off in our putt. We started playing around in the backyard, and then we decided to start playing pig. It was a silly game with nothing on the line, but when we added a competitive element to it, it was no longer just sinking putts on a practice basket. It started to simulate real pressure, knowing that you had to make that putt or you were going to gain a letter. Whether you're playing with people in your backyard or warming up on the day of a tournament, adding little games to your practice rounds or just practice in general with other people amps up the nature of your current setting. The second area I believe other people can help you in is leagues. If you're not familiar, you can find all sorts of disc golf leagues across the world. These are groups of people who usually gather once a week to play disc golf together. Everyone's going to play the same course in the same layout, and when they play this layout, the scores will then be sorted from best to worst. Usually the best score of the night will receive a tag with a number on it ranking number 1, and that will carry on through all of the scores until everybody now has their specific and designated tag. The beauty of leagues is that after paying the entry fee, very few leagues have a buy-in cost unless you want to pay into extra side action like CTPs, ace pot, or just side cash in general. Playing in an organized league not only lets you attack the course with other people, but it also adds a layer of competition because we all want to have as best attack as possible or score our best in front of everyone else. There are multiple types of leagues, including sanctioned and non-sanctioned, and the difference between these is that sanctioned leagues will actually affect your PDGA rating when the league is concluded. There are multiple ways to find out what leagues are near you. The most common are UDisc, Disc Golf Scene, and checking out local Facebook groups to see what's available in the town near you. For some people though, playing in a crowd that large can be extremely overwhelming, and my alternative to leagues is playing tag rounds with your friends. My friends and I were inspired by another group that's local to the Birmingham area, and what we decided to do was get custom tags for our friend group. Every time that we play in a tournament round, a league round, or a casual round together, our tags are always up for grabs, and there's always added pressure on top of any round we're together, which means that we get a little more practice in for when we play those tournament rounds where the pressure is on. But I can't talk about tags without mentioning today's video sponsor, fallingputt.com. Whether you're looking for wooden tags, fiberglass tags, or metal tags, Falling Putt has every single type of tag you could possibly dream of in order to best fit your needs and your style preferences. Not only do they have a large variety of tags, but they make some amazing trophies as well. If you want your next event or league to stand above the rest, look no further than fallingputt.com. Be sure to use the code RCDiscGolf at checkout for not only 5% off of your total order, as well as getting 3 free CTP and ace pins. Now let's jump back to our final way on how you can practice with others, is by simply playing with new people. I've talked about it in another video, but there are some courses we fall into the trap of knowing what shot we're going to throw on that course and on every single hole before we even step up to a tee box. I also believe that when we play with the same groups of people over and over again, it starts to close our imagination to what lines and possibilities exist out there on the disc golf course. This is one of the major perks of playing with new people. You get to see new lines. I've been playing a specific course in our area for about 7 years, playing the same line every single time. I struggled to get birdies on this hole until one day I played with a new group of people. They showed me a forehand line that I thought, wow, I cannot believe I've never seen this before. It revolutionized the hole for me, and I likely would have never found it if I did not start playing with different people. But when we come together, there may be a chance that I see a line that you can throw way better than me, and by talking about it, I can open up that opportunity for you as well. The second perk of playing with new people is that it creates comfortability among strangers. When you watch the pros get out there on the course, notice how casual it feels, even though they're playing for thousands of dollars. If you think about it, the same people are playing on these major events all the time. The best players pretty much always rise to the top. So after day one, the cards are pretty common on who you're going to end up with. Now, if you're like me, when you travel around to local scenes, the odds of you ending up on the same card with the same people is very low. In fact, if you're a rec or novice player, the people you're going to find on your card are going to be different most of the time, especially when you travel. I truly believe that we all play better when we're having a good time and there's camaraderie among the card. This is much easier to demonstrate and show when you're playing with friends. But because we can't guarantee that we're going to be playing with friends all the time, playing with strangers during practice rounds or rounds that don't have as much weight on them will allow us to simulate that tournament experience or that intense round experience, which means that when we find ourselves in it, it will not be as big of a detractor from our game. If you haven't gathered from this entire series, what we're trying to do is use our practice time to best simulate what a tournament round or round that matters actually plays like. Hitting a putt by yourself with no one around from 40 feet is not a big deal, because if you miss, whatever. But when you're trying to hit a putt from 40 feet and there are 3 other people at least watching you, suddenly it feels like a lot longer distance. Pretty much every card I have been on wants me to succeed, and I want the exact same thing for them. And there is no community that I enjoy cheering on and that cheers me on as much as the Birdie Fam. The Birdie Fam is a community of disc golfers who have come together to improve one stroke at a time. We do form reviews, we celebrate our wins, and we celebrate our losses. Everything is a learning experience, and if I don't have the answers, someone in the Birdie Fam likely does. We are all trying to improve, and it has been a blast watching this community flourish over these last few months. If you want details on how you can join this amazing and exciting community, head on down to the description below. I want you to be able to bring the success from your practice rounds to rounds that matter, and I hope that these tips from this series have been helpful in starting the journey there. If there's anything I can do to help you along the way, please feel free to let me know in the comments below. I hope you have an incredible week, but for now, I'm gonna leave you with the birdie. And if you're still watching, way back in the day, before I had 1,000 subscribers, there was my #1 fan, Chris. Chris was my favorite guy who used to come and comment on all of my videos telling me how terrible of a player I was and that I had no business being on YouTube or trying to talk to anyone whatsoever. And in fact, you told me that instead of trying to compete with the guys, I should switch to junior girls because then I might be able to beat somebody. Well, falling putt helped me out. I did it, Chris. I hope you're proud.